there are a lot of people that are frustrated, and they have a desire for a greater life. However, they are clueless on what it will take to get there. And so, so many people want to change their lives. They want a greater life. They want to live up to their potential. They want to fulfill their purpose, but they don't know how to get there. And more importantly, they don't understand that as long as they are content and settling, they will continue to live out of sync. Let me say it again. As long as you are content and settling for mediocrity and average in your life, you're going to continue to live out of sync because, number one, you weren't created to live in mediocrity. And so, when we begin to become complacent and lackadaisical and disinterested and disengaged, that's one of the most horrible places we can be, because a disengaged life is a disempowered life. Write that down. A disengaged life is a disempowered life, and there's so many people that have checked out. They are going through life, but they're going through life unconsciously. And it's very dangerous to go through life unconsciously because you're not aware of what's going on. You're not aware of your actions. You're not aware of your goals, your dreams, your vision. You're just going through the motions, but you're not living intentionally and with a clear sense of purpose. And so that's why I believe it's so important that you take the time to clarify your goals, to get clear about your vision and the direction that you're going in your life, because so many people want their lives to change, want their lives to get better, but they don't have a blueprint. And you don't get to a better life without a blueprint. You don't get there because you think happy thoughts, because you have positive vibes and good intentions. You have to create the blueprint to get you from where you are to where it is that you want to be in your life. As we discussed in the introductory episode, we said that your life is one big operating system. Now, whether you're a Mac or a PC user, that'll determine the operating system that is on your computer. But at the end of the day, no computer can function properly without an operating system. And the operating system will determine the effectiveness and the productivity of that machine. And so in order for the operating system to function properly, it must be maintenance, and it must remain free of viruses. I thought that was so good. In order for your life operating system to function properly, it must be maintenance, and it must remain free of viruses. And so are you maintaining the operating system of your life? We're talking about sync, aligning your life for greatness. If you want your life to have balance, rhythm, flow, you have got to maintain your life properly. So many people are not maintaining their lives. We do a better job maintaining our cars than we do our lives. We do a better job maintaining our budgets than we do our lives. And so something is out of whack there. You need to maintain your car. You need to maintain your finances, but you also need to maintain your life. And so many people, let me say this, in the world today are out of touch with reality because they're out of touch with themselves. As you heard me say many times, and if you've read my books, you've seen it in my books before, that one of the most important relationships you can have is a healthy relationship with yourself. And so many people don't have a healthy relationship with themselves. And when you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself, you don't know yourself, you can't trust yourself, you can't properly love yourself, and you can't ultimately give yourself fully to the life that you were intended and created to live. And so I want you to take the time to maintenance your life. Do a diagnostic on your life and determine what's functioning properly, what needs to be improved. Just like a mechanic or an auto shop goes through your automobile to determine if systems are aligned and everything is functioning properly. I want you to do the same thing with your life. Where are you at spiritually? Where are you at emotionally? Where are you at psychologically? Where are you at financially? Where are you at relationally? Where are you at organizationally and professionally? And every area of your life, I want you to take the time to audit the systems of your life and to ensure that those systems are functioning properly. Because what I know to be true from personal experience, I can tell you this, is that when those systems of your life, the operating system of your life is not functioning properly, your life begins to shut down. Write that down. the operating system of your life is not functioning properly, your life shuts down. And so many people in the world today, because they don't have that proper balance and rhythm, their lives are breaking down at an alarming pace. And so I don't want that to be the story of your life. I want you to realize that your life has to be maintenance so that you can function and operate to the level that you were intended to live. I want you to understand this, that we all have a pace and we all have a race. You know, I love the scripture where it says that the race is not given to the swift or to the strong, but he that endures to the end. In other words, in order to run your race properly, you have to have endurance. And it's impossible to have endurance without conditioning. Write that down. It is impossible to have endurance without conditioning. Any great athlete, any great Olympian, any great champion that has succeeded at the highest level of a sport or anything in life, they've done it because they have endurance. And they have endurance because they have developed and they have conditioned themselves that no matter the adverse circumstances that may arise in their lives, they remain resolute and determined to accomplish their goal and their intention. We live in a society of people that are so unstable, and they want to have uncommon lives, but you can't have an uncommon life and be unstable. And so you have to condition yourself for seasons of adversity. You have to train yourself to thrive in times of turbulence. I want you to get that. Train yourself to thrive in seasons and times of turbulence in your life. I want you to get that we all have a lane, and there is a unique rhythm to your life. We all have a lane, and there's a unique rhythm to your life. And what really bothers me about the world today is that we are fascinated with highlight reels of people's lives, and we have no idea what is happening beneath the surface of a person's life. And so we get so busy trying to live in competition with people that we begin to lose sight of who we are and who we were created to be. And when we become restless and reckless and filled with regret, we know that we are not living our lives in the proper rhythm. I want you to get that. When we become restless, reckless, and filled with regret, we know that we are not living our lives in the proper rhythm. You have to avoid the comparison trap. Let me say that. So many people in the world today, in this social media influencer era, everybody has to avoid the comparison trap. The reality of the situation is this. There is only one you. You are a one-of-a-kind original, and when you understand and unleash the power of your difference, there is nothing in this world and nobody in this world that can compete with you. I don't have to compete with anybody. I don't have to do what anybody else is, because I am the most authentic version of myself. I am only competing with myself, and I'm only competing with the last version of who I am. I'm not trying to figure out what's happening on so-and-so's timeline and what so-and-so is doing. I'm very much focused on my purpose, and I think that this is one of the things that holds so many people back today, because we're so busy comparing our lives to other people. And this is what I always tell people. You know you have an identity crisis because you don't know the inner workings of another person's life. And so if you spend all your time trying to compete and compare yourself with other people when you don't know what's going on behind the scenes of their lives, you don't know what's happening internally with that person, you don't know a whole lot of things. And so you're making a lot of assumptions, and assumptions is the lowest form of reality that exists. An assumption will not only stifle you, but it will imprison you. And so you can't afford to make assumptions. How do you know that to be true? Have you been with that person? Do you live with that person? Are you part of the inner circle of that person? You're making an assumption based on a perception that you have. And so we have to avoid the comparison trap, because it stifles potential and it steals your power. Write that down. Comparison stifles your potential and it steals your power. The same